Welcome to Glow Social Club, the space where powerhouse women come to reclaim their health, their clarity, and their leadership. I'm Jasmine Corona, functional nutritional practitioner and founder of Organically Glow and Glow Social Club. Around here, we don't do one-size-fits-all advice. We translate symptoms into strategy and build the kind of structure that actually sustains you. If you are ready to lead your health, your work, and your life with clarity, confidence, and conviction, you are in the right place. Let's begin. Welcome back to Glow Social Hour. Today, I'm going to be chatting about the lessons, the mistakes, the mindset shifts, and the nervous system recalibration that has really built the business and the body that I trust today. If I could go back in time to the version of me who was just starting this business, who was just getting the idea of this business, I would not warn her. I would ground her. I would let her know what truly matters, what's real, and also what no one else is talking about. When I got into this world, I wasn't focused on the income. I wasn't focused on the dollars that I would make, right? I actually had a purpose, and I truly believed in that purpose. And I knew I wanted to help other women heal their bodies, build businesses, and that would really impact women all over the world. It would change the world. That was where my head was at. That was my mindset when I had this idea of starting a business. So often, especially with social media, especially with everything we have access to now, we only see one side of building a business or starting a business. We see the people who are making millions of dollars, having all this freedom and this time to travel, to jump on a private jet and fly across the world. And there definitely is a side to that, right? That is 100% possible. You can make lots of money while also helping to change the world, making an impact, right? You can make the income, you can make an impact together. But we only see one side. We only see people making the income, right? It looks easy. They make it seem easy. But what's really not being told is actually the challenges that comes with being a business owner, the lessons, the mistakes that comes with being a business owner. So I want to share my lessons so you can learn from them, so you can have a little bit more insight on what can happen if you make this specific decision, right? And you technically will never know, but there's a way of using your intuition, learning to trust yourself and your decisions, and to trust that even if it doesn't work out, you have still learned something from it. So this is, again, like I said, not everyone is talking about this just because it's the real and raw truths behind being a business owner, being a practitioner, being a coach, actually wanting to create impact, actually getting into this world, starting something new, because you have a passion, you have a purpose. So let's just jump into it. I have my notebook here and I did write down some of my top lessons that I have learned. So I am going to be looking back, referencing my notes. So when I first started Organically Glow, I was actually in the middle of a pivot, and that alone was scary. Just trying to figure out what decision was best for me. If I made this decision, what would happen? If I made this other decision, what would happen, right? Would I still be doing what I wanted to do? Was it still aligned with my purpose? So during this pivot, which I have talked about in another episode of pivoting away from the medical system, pivoting away from becoming a nurse practitioner, pivoting away from becoming a healthcare professional, right, in the medical system, and instead starting Organically Glow. And a part of me was scared. Like, I had so much fear. I had no idea what I was doing. No one I knew had started a business. Not a single person I knew started a business or had their own business, right? And there's no problem with that at all. It's just I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just had a very deep purpose and deep knowing that this will work out. Like, this is your path. And so moving through fear is something that you will have to learn how to do when you become a business owner, when you become a practitioner, when you actually step into this next role, into this next calling. And that's something that a lot of people actually let fear hold them back. And there was a point where I was like, okay, am I really doing this? Like, every single day pushing post was scary, but I did it. So now when fear comes up, I am more aware of what that actually means, right? You're just uncomfortable. Like, it's something new. When you're experiencing something new, you do feel anxious. You do feel scared because you have never done it before. And so how can you move through fear? It looks different per person. Me specifically, when I first started, I just really told myself, like, you don't have a choice. You want to do this, you have to do the hard things. And so I just kept working that muscle. Just like if you go to the gym, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to build a booty, you constantly and consistently have to keep showing up even when you don't want to. So that's what I did. I showed up every single day. When I felt the fear, I moved through it and I just did it anyways. And so over time, I have worked that muscle. And so when fear does come up, I actually have really been trying to train myself, move. Instead of stopping, instead of holding back, I move. Like, I physically move myself. So when you feel that fear, this is completely normal, especially when starting a business, especially when stepping into a new role as a practitioner, as a coach, or if you're in just a transition in your life right now, it's going to be uncomfortable, and that is okay. So that is the mindset shift that I had to make, or that I have made, that has actually helped me get to the point where I am today. I didn't know the how. I just knew to take action, to take messy action every single day, and things will move, because naturally they do. Like, that's just how the world works. So that is my first lesson, is really the mindset shift around this. You know, there is going to be fear, but you just have to move through it. And if you do need more support with that, if you need a sounding board, this is where having someone in your corner is so important, or surrounding yourself with other individuals who are on the same journey as you, because they understand what you're going through. Only the people who are doing what you're doing will understand what you're going through. So surround yourself with those like-minded people. But you also don't want to surround yourself with the people who are going to allow you to let the fear win. So that's also important. So number one, surround yourself with other individuals who are on a similar journey as you, but also make sure those people are actually pushing you out of your comfort zone, helping you rise up, right? Not letting fear hold you back. Number two is really focusing on what you want. What is your deepest desire? Why are you even starting this business? Why are you even becoming a practitioner? Why are you even becoming a coach? Like, what is your deep why? In the early days when I was just starting out, I did have a very deep purpose and why behind what I was doing. And so again, every time that fear would come up, I would go back to my anchor, which is my why. Like, you're not doing this for yourself. You're actually doing this to help other women experience what you have experienced, right? Healing, transformation, freedom from autoimmunity. And so having a deeper why is going to, again, help you with the mindset piece. It's also going to help you keep going when things get a little bit difficult, when things get a little bit uncomfortable. And it also really teaches your nervous system that you are safe, right? You are actually moving in alignment. And there was a time where I was constantly going, because again, moving through the fear, pushing through me wanting to stop because it was uncomfortable, tired, a little bit burnt out, right? And sometimes you have to go through that nervous system recalibration, I will call it, to warm your nervous system up, to actually teach your body, like, this is safe, this is okay to do. But you also have to have discernment when it comes to figuring out if you are moving in alignment or you are out of alignment. Are you just hustling to hustle, or are you actually in harmony with your actions? So that's also something where you really have to in tune to yourself. And if you can't like in tune to yourself by sitting in silence for 5 minutes a day, journaling a bit, right? Taking time to sit still, like you're having trouble doing that, that's actually a sign for you. That's a signal that your nervous system may be dysregulated. And so we have to, again, learn how to listen to our bodies, because that's going to help us actually keep going in alignment, right? We want to move in alignment at all times as much as possible. There are times where you do get stuck in survival mode, because you do have a lot of things that you need to get done. But then it's also about building back resilience in your nervous system. Like, okay, I'm aware that I'm in survival mode. I understand that I have been going. What is my boundary, right? Do I need to take some time, a couple hours, in the middle of the day to go work out, to take some time to actually eat lunch, right? I've talked about this before, but there was a time where I was so burnt out because I was just pushing, trying to get the business off the ground. And I kind of lost sight of my own health, my own priorities, my own non-negotiables. And that actually takes, again, a lot of awareness to really figure that out, kind of like realizing, like, where is that line? Like, where are your boundaries? And I had no boundaries. So again, that's what led to the burnout. And it really impacted everything. It impacted my way to, keep the household clean. It impacted in my own body. Like, I was skipping meals and I was like anxious all the time. And I'm like, what is going on? Well, you haven't ate all day today. Like, what are you doing? I was skipping workouts because I was like, no, I need to finish this. I need to get this done. And that is where systems come into place, because I was doing everything manually. Every single time I had a discovery call, I was the person who, would schedule them, would add it to my calendar, making sure they're getting their emails so they have the Zoom link, right? I was doing everything manually. No wonder why I was burning out. And then my onboarding process didn't really have an onboarding process, right? I would get a client, I would manually have to send them emails, do this, do that, do this, make sure your tasks are done, right? I was a great practitioner. Don't get me wrong. Amazing. I would show up for my clients day in, day out, making sure they're taken care of. However, on the business side, it was chaos. The back end, chaos. And so that is what actually led to the burnout, not having systems in place. I was just spiraling. So the lesson here too is having the right systems in place so you're not spiraling. that's actually going to help your nervous system. It's going to help you as a practitioner show up as a very high level coach and practitioner. You're able to hold more space for your clients. You can have a larger capacity for clients, right? You can take on more clients because you have the back end in place. So instead of running off chaos, hustling, I really had to take a step back and look at the business side, look at my systems that were in place, build systems. So I had systems in place, and that absolutely changed everything. So the first thing I did, number one, was discovery calls. Sales calls are my biggest way of connecting with leads and new clients, potential clients. So I knew I had to create a system for that. So I had Calendly. So I added on Calendly. Love them so much. They have absolutely, oh my gosh, took so much time off my hands, right? So with Calendly, this is just like a scheduling app, right? I use this for my discovery calls. I use this for sales calls. I use this just for like that first call with a potential lead, potential partner. And what I do is I created just different calendars. So I have different calls for different reasons. So one for clients and for my one-on-one personalized wellness plans. And then I also have a calendar where potential practitioners and coaches who want to do coaching have a link to book a call there too. So all I need to do, right? They come into my DMs, I grab that link, send it to them, and everything's handled. They get to pick and choose when they have their specific call. And then once they book on the back end, they have a whole automation. They get an email, they get follow-up emails, text messages to remind them when the call is. They get sent the link automatically. Simplified my life. And then of course, once you get the client, having an onboarding process. So as soon as they onboard into my client system, I actually have a process for that too in place. So all these systems, they may seem like little things you can do, but they actually can truly take so much time off your hands. So then you actually can put that time somewhere else, right? So systems are so important. Number one, for your sanity, for your nervous system regulation, to avoid burnout. And then of course you have more capacity to hold more clients in the work you do. So the back-end system is so important, right? So again, I have that sales process, I have the onboarding process, and once they're onboarded, right, they get sent their labs, they get sent everything. Then I have them book their first call. We go over all their labs, and then throughout that process, throughout their package, whatever package they choose, we have a very clear guidelines, right? I put boundaries in place. I put expectations in place, like just so they have an idea, so they know like when I'm available. Like you have to create boundaries for yourself, and then also making sure you're explaining those boundaries so you can really hold space for yourself too. Because the work we do, we are so passionate. We have a purpose, right? And we want to put our all into everything. But we don't need to do that at the expense of our own health, our own life. There gets to be a harmony with that. And it is possible. I have done it for myself. Next lesson, really getting clear. Oh my goodness, clarity. And at first, you're not going to be clear on every single thing. Like there are different phases that you go through in your business when you're building your business, when you're building your systems, when you're building your offers out, your pricing, all these different things. Clarity happens as you take action. Like that's just really how it goes. Like I have gone through so many reiterations of my offers, of my pricing, of my systems, of everything. And it's kind of a non-negotiable as you grow, as you learn, right? What works, what doesn't work, what clients actually need, what they don't need. So it kind of like, it's okay to evolve. It's okay to evolve. When I first started my business, when I was getting my practitioner certifications, I started my page. I started my social media page because I already knew, I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. So let's just start now. So then when I do have that certification, right away I can take clients. Right away, I've already built trust. I've already built awareness around my brand, around who I am, what I stand for, my purpose, why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So I started my Organically Glow page, and I actually started a product. I started selling elderberry syrup. And if you guys have been here since that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And elderberry syrup was something that I used for my own health. Like, I drank that every single day, and I would make it for me. And then I was like, I had family members who were asking, like, oh, are you making a batch? Like, can you make me a batch? Like, I'll pay you. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And so then I started just sharing me doing that, right? And then I had people reaching out, hey, are you selling this? Can I buy it from you? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to make a batch this week. Like, here's a link. And then they would send me money, and I would provide them elderberry syrup. So I think back to this because I'm like, wow, I have evolved so much. Like, I started off just sharing my journey, started a social media page, started sharing what I was taking, right? Started actually selling elderberry syrup. And then I just kept evolving. Things kept changing. I became a practitioner, got my certifications, and then I had offers, right? And people were buying. It was amazing. So it's okay to evolve. It's okay to not be clear on exactly what you want to do right now, how you want to serve people. Just do it. Messy action. Take messy action. That's literally what I have done up until this point, right? You just keep taking messy action until something actually feels good, something actually aligns. This is working. This isn't working. Okay, let's remove that, right? So really getting clear on, number one, your why. Number two, how do you want to serve people? And then it kind of just evolves from there. And when I was always like going through these different transitions, I would actually have someone else who was looking at my business, right? So I've always invested back into my business, always. And that's just how it goes. Like, I couldn't see the different things that needed to change or that I wanted to change in order to like move up, in order to keep doing what I wanted to do. I actually wanted support. I wanted a second pair of eyes on my business so they can help me get clear on what is actually the gaps, where I was actually going, what is actually working, what's not working, what should I really focus in on. Just having a sounding board is so amazing. So I have always invested back into my business just so I can have a second pair of eyes on my business. So I know, like, okay, is this what I want to do? Is this a good next step? This is what I'm thinking. Am I on the right track? Have you seen this before? So it's always good to, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like, I don't even know where to begin, I don't even know where to start, having someone in your corner to help you walk through that process is going to actually minimize that time that takes you to try to figure out everything on your own. Because there's a lot that you have to learn when you're starting a business. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to build a sustainable business, there's a lot to learn and you're always learning. So that goes into getting clear about how you want to serve people. And then if you are just unclear on which direction to go, if you're listening to so many things on social media, right? Trying to copy someone else's strategy, trying to copy what someone else is creating, then that is actually a signal that you might be out of misalignment because you're looking outwards. We have to look within. And so having someone who can actually pull out what's inside of you to get clear on what you actually want instead of just trying to copy someone else's business model, anything like that. It's really helpful. It's so helpful, and it saves you so much time. It has saved me so much time. And lastly, let's talk about Oh my goodness. So I have made so many investments in different coaches, different programs, different courses, different certifications. And when I first started to get my practitioner certifications, right, there's so many different programs that you can choose from. So many. You can be a fitness coach. You can get a holistic nutrition certification. You can be a trainer. There's so many ways to help people and to get certified. So again, going back to your why and how you want to serve people is going to actually give you clarity on what program is best for you. There was also a time where, I was just so stuck in, I need to get another certification. I need to, learn all about hormones. I need to learn all about gut health. I need to learn all about this. And I realized that I was actually using my certifications as a crutch. I need this in order to actually start my business. You actually don't. Are you letting fear hold you back again? Because that's what it was for me. I really was, letting certifications hold me back. I'll just wait till I have this, then I'll start. And then it was another one. I'll just wait till I'm done with this and then I'll start. No, just start. Just start. That's where a lot of people kind of get stuck, right? And then I also, invested in different courses, business courses, really just teaching you the basics, how to optimize different systems and whatnot. And some of them were great. Some of them I was not that great, but you still take something from it. You really do. Sometimes people just have really good marketing, and I give them props for that. This is a little story, but I actually had invested a couple $1,000s into a business coach, and their marketing was so good that I bought instantly without really thinking. And when I got into the program, I was like, oh my goodness, this is nothing like I thought it was, right? I thought I was going to get a specific service, right? And I got in there and it was not the service that I had signed up for. So, I still showed up, I still did the work, and that alone was a huge lesson for me because it made me realize, Jasmine, you need to take some time to actually make a decision. You can't just jump on things without asking questions, without actually understanding what I'm going to receive. Because sometimes I can just let my emotions take over, and then I just I feel good, cool, I'm gonna pay, right? Here's my card. And so that actually has taught me that, okay, I need to actually, instead of making decisions from an emotional aspect, I need to also make sure I'm grounded first. Take some time. You don't have to purchase right away. Just take some time, really feel into your body. Is this really what you need? Or are they just really good at selling? Because that is something that I have learned now. So now I take every investment I make. I really want to understand, okay, is this what I want? Is this what's really going to help me? Is this going to move my business forward? And sometimes you're not going to have the answer, but definitely take some time to sit with yourself and feel good with your decision. Yes, this is a full body yes, then okay, yes, right? If I'm hesitant, I'm I'll ask questions. So that's what I always do. I'm hey, can we jump on a call? Can I ask you some questions regarding what's going on, what I get out of this? Can you even help me with what I think I need for my business, right? And that will give me clarity on like, okay, yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm moving forward with. And then again, if I have any type of hesitation, I'm going to ask questions. If I still have hesitation, I'm going to wait. If it's still a no, it's a no, right? You just kind of move on. It's okay. Like even if it's not the right time now, maybe in a couple months it will be. So really, starting a business, you learn so much about yourself. It's actually crazy. Like I have learned so much about myself, about how I make decisions, where I really have to focus in on, like expanding, right? Like just like my mindset wise, how different things, how I've like grown up, how that has impacted my decision making skills. It's just really interesting how like everything really like is connected. It's really connected. So those are some of the top lessons I have learned, right? I have really come such a long way. I have become more clear on my vision. I have really seen the vision expand even bigger. And so this is where the Leadership Lab comes in, where I truly want to combine the root cause methodology of being a practitioner, right? And helping women actually heal their bodies at the root while also providing business strategy. So combining the two into one container, because you being a practitioner, right? You got into this work because you want to help people. You have your own story of healing your body. You have your own story of overcoming something, you know, gut issues, autoimmunity, skin issues, infertility, right? We all have such unique stories, but if we don't have a business that supports that purpose, supports that passion, then we really can't help as many people that we want to, right? So it goes side and side. In order to be a successful practitioner, you have to be a successful business owner. So that is what we're going to be teaching inside the Leadership Lab. We are really going to be diving deep into, again, teaching you a root cause methodology, our root cause methodology, and how we have helped hundreds and hundreds of women heal their bodies through this specific approach and very personalized approach. Because we're stepping away from the one size fits all system model, right? It just doesn't work. And then on the other side, we're also bringing in that business strategy, creating the system so you can create a sustainable business, creating a one of one business, because we're all unique. Instead of copying someone, actually build the business that you desire. So getting clear on how you want to help people. And then, of course, it's a community, right? It's going to be a group of us, practitioners, coaches, like-minded people who want to build a business with their purpose, that actually holds their purpose. So I hope you guys loved this episode. This is something a little bit different that I have been playing around with, and I am loving it. Let me know if you guys had any aha moments, if you guys have any topics you guys would like me to talk about. If you guys have questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at organicallyglow. And then if you are interested in the Leadership Lab, if you're a practitioner, if you're a coach, if you're aspiring to be a practitioner or coach, this is truly the place to be. This is the room to be in if you want to expand, if you want to be lifted, to rise, and to actually create impact in this world. So I will talk to you guys next time. Again, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I love talking with you guys. And then if you do have any aha moments, let me know too. But have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys next week. If today's conversation shifted something inside of you, if it brought you clarity, relief, or a new way to see your health as a leadership tool, I'd love for you to share this with another powerhouse woman in your world. And remember, symptoms aren't the problem, they are the signal. When you start translating them, you stop surviving and you start leading with clarity. I'll see you next time inside Glow Social Hour.